Hey guys, Dimension Jump is dead, and today I'll be reviewing Scooby-Doo Unmasked, which was released back in 2005 for various consoles, and the main one I'll be mainly reviewing is the DS version, because that's the one I kind of played when I was a kid. So yeah, so the main plot of this game is that uh, the gang are basically meeting up with one of their relatives. I'm not 100% sure which one it is. And when it comes to the relatives, it might be either a cousin or an uncle. I'm not 100% sure. Um, but they find out that their relative is missing, and it's up to the gang to try and find them. And throughout the game, they find various. Well, they end up in various haunted areas, and they basically find a monster that's been sort of terrorizing the area, and they find out it's a person in a mask. It's pretty much like every episode of the Scooby-Doo cartoons that have been airing on for a very long time, and it's pretty much like that. The gang find a particular area, they set a trap for a particular monster that's terrorizing it. They find out it's someone trying to make a quick buck or something like that, and yeah, I think this game is really nostalgic to me. Because it's kind of like the Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Batman games for the DS for me personally. Because like with those two games, I remember playing uh, the Scooby Doo game a lot, and I did enjoy a lot of it because like it kind of felt like I was in the show, and it felt like I was helping the gang solving a mystery because you do find various clues in order to not only progress the game but also catch the particular monster in the area. And yeah, it's so much fun because you go to different levels, and each level is uniquely different. Because there's one that's like I remember there's a place where you go to like some sort of like museum area. I think the first area is some sort of warehouse. I think don't 100% remember, and there are some other locations that you get to see in, and yeah, I think this is a really fun game because throughout the whole game you mainly play as Scooby, and throughout the game you get to choose different outfits for him, and these outfits give him certain abilities, and the abilities are Kung Fu Master, I believe, a scientist, a vampire, bat costume, and some sort of archer guy, and they all have their own unique abilities. So for Scooby as a whole, if you're just playing as regular Scooby and you're not using any of his power ups, he can slide and do a spin attack. For the vampire bat costume, he can glide. For the archer, he can use these sucker plunger archer arrow things, and they can be used as a sort of like ladder almost. So if you're in the sort of like, let's say, pit area, you can use the plungers to get up to a higher area, that sort of thing. For the scientists, they can take down barriers that have like some sort of like cellular module type of thing, which is like this small mini game you have to do to try and deactivate the wall. And for the kung fu guy, you can use it to like push these giant blocks to one side, and they can help you get to a higher part of the level. And yeah, I think all of the levels are really cool, and I think and throughout the whole game, when you're going to each level, you will fight various enemies in the level. For instance, in the museum, um, you get to come across some pterodactyl based enemies because you're in a museum. You do get to fight like spiders as well. I think in one of the levels you fight off against walking suits of armor, I believe. I don't 100% remember the other enemies. It could be different to the museum area. The museum area is probably the only one I remember, and yeah. But when it comes to levels, you also can find various clues, and you can help them try and like figure out what kind of thing you have to do and stuff like that. And once you've collected all the clues together, and once you've done a particular area, you can then capture the monster. And it's very similar to how it's done in the cartoons, in the sense that, oh, you have to use a particular trap, and then with that trap you trap the monster, and then you go to the next area. And yeah, I think it's a really interesting way of playing the game. And now it's time for some gameplay. So when it comes to like the game as a whole, it's quite dated now when you compare it to, like, you know, I know AAA games, like I know it's like very outdated, but like I think as a kid I remember like this was really cool because it's one of those like platformer based levels, and you can also do a lot of things, and it's basically like a lot of other games when it comes to like platforming. Um, is basically go left to right, go to the get to the end, and that's basically it. And when it comes to like um, some of the stuff, so like you've got this sort of like menu, so you've got like um, Scooby Snacks, I believe that's what these are. You've got different clues, you've got the different traps you can find, and this is like the different sort of costume power ups you can use. So each one is uniquely different. So for this one is the scientist, this one is the kung fu master, this one is the vampire bat one, and this one is the archer one. So so with each one it's very different. So let's say I wanted to be the kung not Scooby, but the kung fu master. You can see that Scooby's like in a sort of like martial arts type of position, and he can like do kicks and stuff. And if now, because I'm in a pit, I want to be the archer. So now he's sort of like Robin Hood type of thing, and he can like basically use the arrows to basically get yourself out of a pit and stuff like that. So this is pretty helpful. And also there's like now I want to try and get over towards another area, so I will now become the vampire bat guy. And for some reason he kind of like looks like a Daredevil with wings, like Daredevil the Marvel hero. And yeah, I don't know why, but there are places you can get to um, which are quite nice. Well, which kind of reveals exits and stuff like that, or secret areas. So yeah, now it's time for the scientist. So yeah, and with the scientist guy, yeah, you can basically just try and get rid of the walls by this like sort of like mini game sort of thing. So you have to try and find, well, basically collect all of the cell stuff, these multicolored ball things, while avoiding the spikes. And yeah, now that's down. Oh, done. The walls will go down, and yeah, that's basically the whole game. And just, and also if you get hit by enemies, this will go down. So always make sure to like, okay. So you always make sure to like, try and like find enough of those to become the different power ups. Otherwise, if you don't have enough, you won't be able to become those characters. So yeah, and I think what's interesting about the game is that it's just it uses like a lot of the stuff from like the Scooby-Doo mythos, in the sense that, oh, it's just you basically just you basically find different areas to go to and just solve a mystery, and I think that's quite cool. And yeah, so that's been it for the gameplay. Now it's time to go back to the review. So overall, I would say that this, as a game that I played as a kid, Scooby-Doo Unmasked is quite a nostalgic game for me, because I did play it a lot as a kid, and that's probably what I'm going to be doing for the next few weeks. I'm going to be reviewing games that I feel are the most nostalgic to me when I played them as a kid. So yeah, that's going to be the next few reviews I'll be doing over the next few weeks. But for Scooby-Doo Unmasked, it's a really as a kid, it's a really enjoyable game because if you've played or not played, if you've seen any of um, the in the old cartoons growing up, um, it feels like one of those episodes, and yeah, it's an enjoyable game if you've played it as a kid, and it just feels like you're just watching an episode. It kind of feels like that. So yeah, overall, it's a very nostalgic game if you've played it, and yeah, I had fun in it. I had fun with it as a kid. So yeah, so that's been my review for Scooby-Doo Unmasked. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.